Alright, hello everybody. Welcome back to Let's Play Danganronpa. My name is Burning Earth Chris, and I'm gonna be your pilot tonight. Today, class trial number 2 begins. Let's rock and roll. So, is everyone ready to— What? Am I blind or are we missing someone?
Yo.
Yeah, Toko's not here. And Toko is... You really don't remember?
Come on!
Kidding, I'm just kidding. How can I forget that little nut job? She's a crucial part of the class trial this time.
What are you gonna do?
Okie dokie. I'll go ahead and drag her out here kicking and screaming. Just one moment, please. And just like he said, a few minutes later, he reappeared dragging Toko behind him. I told him I didn't want to, but he forced me. I can't believe you would drag a girl around. Terrible! You're terrible! So now everyone's here, right? Okay then. Let's launch the elevator and let's get the show on the road. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
So, shall we get going? It's time to find out who killed Chihiro. Chihiro Fujisaki. She was so gentle, so calm, and so meek. Nobody had any problems with her. Someone made the choice to kill a girl like that. A person like that. And that murderer is one of us. Someone standing right here. Let me try talking with the people here, if we can. You ready? We doing this?
Well then.
I will uncover the villain who performs such heinous acts on a weaker individual. I don't know why the killer did what they did, but...
Count on it!
I'm sure to work itself out. Justice always prevails, right, bro? Bro. Kyoko? You have anything to say?
Shall we go?
Okay.
How very sad.
Miss Fujisaki. I must admit, for being 3D, she was quite remarkable. Of course, just the idea of 3D makes me cringe. Mondo?
Hey, come on!
Fucking Toko, man. What's got her so worked up? Shouldn't you be worried about Chihiro, dude? Okay. There is something odd about Toko's behavior. I do not think mere shock is enough to explain it. Hina? I guess I wasn't much help at all on this one. Nah, I disagree. I think you were very helpful. I gave you plenty to work with. Show us how far your logic can take you. Alright, let's get it started. We have no choice, right? We have to do this.
It's true.
Yes. I gave a small nod in reply. With one last deep breath, I walked toward the elevator on shaky legs. With each step forward, I could feel my heart starting to race faster and faster. As soon as everyone was on, the elevator began to descend. I couldn't get a handle on my emotions. Couldn't stop speculating. The steel box sank with heavy clunking sounds deeper and deeper into the ground. And as we went deeper, the uneasiness in my heart grew bigger and bigger. The elevator was unaffected, however, and continued to descend without hesitation. Until finally, it came to a sudden stop. What do you think? I redecorated. Isn't it so fresh? Isn't it so exciting? Don't waste our time with stupid questions. Let's get this over with.
Very nice.
Good, good. You're rip raring to go. Gotta say, I don't hate it. Not at all.
Well?
Okay then, let's get this show on the road.
Thrills, chills, kills!
Everyone, please find your assigned seats. And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment. A deadly deception. A deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle. A deadly defense. A deadly faith. A deadly class trial. Yes, I do want to save the data. All right, so I'll check out what we got on hand. Yeah, let me take the truth bullets. So let's see. Victim was Chihiro Fujisaki. Time of death estimated around 2 a.m. Body discovered in the girls' locker room on the second floor of the school. Cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. The cause of death was a blow to the head with a blunt object. She was killed instantly. Although Chihiro wanted to get stronger, she declined several invitations from Sakura and Aoi, and may have used the locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite this, Chihiro had stated she desired help with their efforts. She may have been meeting someone in the locker room the night she was murdered. The dumbbell found on the floor of the girls' locker room had a significant amount of blood on it. Chihiro had told anyone willing to listen that she wanted to get stronger. Some assumed that due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. To unlock a locker room, you need to swipe your e-handbook over the card reader. You need a male student's handbook for the boys' locker room and a female student for the girls. Not possible for two people to enter at the same time. Additionally, lending someone your handbook is a violation of school regulations, but borrowing someone is not. You gotta remember that. The handbook of each student that has died is placed in the mailbox in the main hall. One of the handbooks found in the main hall has been broken, which is apparently a rare occurrence. Junko and Sayaka's handbooks both seem to still work, so it's assumed that the broken handbook is Leon's. However, Monokuma claims it's very unlikely that Leon's handbook would have been broken. Suspected genocide jackrabbits include Ken Harada, Tetsuhiro Honda, and Shoji Gaku among countless others. They were killed in the same way and mounted to a nearby wall. The word bloodlust was found at the scene of each crime written in blood. Profiling indicates the killer is likely a student suffering from a split personality. So I think I'm fairly certain that... No, it's pretty obvious that Toko is Genocide Jack. Chihiro seems to have consciously kept her distance from the other girls at the school, even from the beginning. Meanwhile, it had been noticed that she got along remarkably well with her male classmates. The carpet in the boys' locker room was found with a blackish stain on it. Probably coffee, and somehow the rugs got switched, so I do wonder about that. Yes, and the posters got switched too, so... Blood was found in the poster in the girls' locker room. The poster featured a big-breasted supermodel popular among the boys. Meanwhile, the poster in the boys' locker room was for a boy band popular with teenage girls. Chihiro's handbook was not found under corpse and has apparently gone missing. Chihiro's body had been suspended and her hands had been bound with some kind of rope. Her fatal injury was a blow to the head. Sakura mentioned that she was responsible for a coffee stain on the girls' locker room floor. However, the stain has since been inexplicably scrubbed away. Or switched off. Byakuya was known to use this lamp often, however the extension cord had gone missing at some point and the lamp's cord couldn't quite reach the outlet. Now I think that Chihiro was tied up with that cord, folks. So that leads me to believe that Byakuya might have been involved in the crime somehow, but I don't know for sure. Now on the night of the murder, right before nighttime, Chihiro was spotted leaving the warehouse. It seems she was stuffing some blue exercise clothes into a duffel bag. Presumably she was on her way to exercise, but the clothes were not found at the crime scene. Celeste had not told anyone other than Makoto about this encounter. Alright, so my opinion is, I think Toko, Genocide Jack, is being framed by Byakuya. Now, Chihiro also mentioned that she liked strong men, and what man do we know that's strong? So I think it's Mondo. It might be Mondo. She admired strength more than anything else, so it might be Mondo. Because Look at him. He's the ultimate biker gang leader, so that's, so... I just don't know the motive. So, well, I have a theory on the motive, but I'm not, I think it's because Chihiro might either be trans, non-binary, or a cross-dresser. Or cross-dressing pretending to be a girl. I don't know which of those is true. And again, I have no problems with any of that. You know, I personally wouldn't have minded finding out. In a maybe it could have been found out a little bit better, but it could have been revealed a bit earlier on, I think. But all right, enough of my rambling. Let's go ahead and get into this case. I can set the skills here, too, if I wanted to. Do I have any more? I don't think I have any more. Okay, I had to talk to more characters before I can unlock them. But I still have vocabulary and melodious voice. So, let's see. This increases damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed, affected during the BTB. Increases spell capacity, affected during the BTB. Alright. Alright. Second trial. Here we go. And I have to admit, I'm looking forward to this trial primarily because of the great music that was in the last trial. So, again, this game has a really good soundtrack going into the court system, but, alright, here we go.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results.
Alright, the mighty dishonorable Monokuma.
If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
First, we have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow. Alright. Locker room dumbbell.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
It was not an iron pipe. The weapon had to be at the scene of the crime. There was something with a bloodstain on it.
Chihiro's fatal injury.
It appears it was. According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt?
I bet it was an iron...
Hold it right there!
No, that's wrong.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
But necessary.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Genocide Jack. The fiendish serial killer. Did he really kill Chihiro? Or she? A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would I like to hear more? Yes. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth balls will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your debate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Press the right mouse button to attach the silencer, which you can use to shoot down white noise. However, if you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of the white noise, the time limit will decrease, so take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, white noise won't appear at all. Good to know. In which case you can forget about the silencer and just focus on the situation in front of you. Well then, good luck and have fun. I'll do my best. Genocide Jack case file.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure of it. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
God damn it, Hifumi. The thing Byakuya showed me in the archive, one look at that and anyone will be convinced. It shows that this was the work of Genocide Jack. I think I know where I need to shoot it.
Genocide Jack.
Case closed. Why? What?
Well, I mean, there's just no proof.
Objection!
No, it's wrong. I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now.
Aw, you're no fun.
More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Boob lust.
God damn it, Hifumi!
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
The other characteristic of every Genocide Jack case, which the world at large doesn't know. If I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the positioning of the body.
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
What?
You lie!
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
It doesn't help that you're an airhead there, Supernova. It's a riddle for sure, but I feel like I understand it. What it means for Genocide Jack to be Toko, but also to not be Toko. The answer to that is... she's not just one person, but multiple people, right? Hangman's Gambit. Okay. Ow. Oops. I think I know what it is.
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
As an aside, folks, I was always under the impression that schizophrenia and dissociative identity disorder, I always thought that those two were different disorders. So if I'm wrong about that, please let me know in the comments, okay?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
The one thing that shows Toko could have a split personality, it has to do with her behavior.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
I'm fine! Whoa, is that a dead body? Hey, are you dead? She must have hit her head real hard when she fainted. The world has a front and a back, a top ending and a bottom, a sea of truth and a web of lies. This is quite concerning. I mean, she sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
As an aside, folks, I do kind of want to punch Byakuya straight in the face. The way he's doing this really... The way that he's going on about how Toko is Genocide Jack, it kind of makes me want to, really sock him. Oh, Byakuya, I hate you. You arrogant little prick.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
I won't let Genocide Jack have control. I'll drive out the killer. Drive out the murderous fiend.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
I think both questions are valid here, folks. How could he know this?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time.
Oh. That actually makes sense. Toko was pining for Byakuya.
And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
Byakuya, you bastard.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to.
Byakuya, if someone tells you a secret like that, you don't go spilling it out all willy-nilly in the public like that.
This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
Oh, fuck you.
Besides, you broke your promise first.
She made a promise?
You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
I'm sorry. I couldn't keep our promise. But don't worry. Never again. I won't let Genocide Jack have control ever again.
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that. But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but
your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
I hate him too, Toko. I hate him too.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person?
Is Genocide Jack gonna come out of Toko?
You don't mean...
Toko's body suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom. But in the next second... Ah!
Hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
What the fuck is this?
What the heck? So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
God, those eyes.
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
Oh my god. She's like a totally different person now. It's terrifying.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Poetry from a serial killer. I didn't expect that. Well, given that Toko is the ultimate writing prodigy, I guess it kind of makes sense in the context of her other personality. But anyway. This is the murderous fiend, Genocide Jack? This is beyond insane!
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
I love how Jill is so chipper. Ifumi's like nervously like, can I ask you a question? Sure, what's up? Oh my god. The voice acting in this game is so on point. It's good. It's really good.
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid!
Monokuma, you're instigating this game. You have no right to talk.
And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people.
That's actually kind of deep. Minus the bloodthirsty maniac part.
It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
Oh.
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
And that was Toko's secret. You know, I can see the motive here, but I'm still not convinced that it was Genocide Jack that did this.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Say what? Well, I figured. But say what?
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion. Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth!
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
I kinda do. I mean, with someone like Genocide Jack, or Genocide Jill, I guess they would be proud of that carnage.
Yeah! I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
Maybe she's totally right about that, but something's still bothering me. What she said. I need to get some more details about all this.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof?
Ah, crap, I missed.
Give it up. You killed her.
Okay, I had to just focus on remembering Chihiro's body. That must have the answer. That should prove that what he said isn't quite right.
Sorry, but I didn't kill.
You say that, but
Perhaps if you had an an alibi.
when you compare the modus
Hold it right there!
No, it's wrong. Are the methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you!
Ugh. Jesus Christ. When her voice gets shrill like that, it's a little off-putting. Anyway.
I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee.
We're comparing murder to what a restaurant uses in its food? Okay. That's, I expected a lot of things about this game, but I didn't expect this.
This is no creation of mine!
Let me rephrase that. in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference between the murders. In the photos from the other Genocide Jack cases, look at the neck and stomach. Here you'll see a clear difference.
I got it! For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right! In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce!
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
Oh my god, this game.
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
That's right. The second difference is related to how she was suspended. In the photos of the other Genocide Jack cases, all the other victims were stabbed through their hands. Here you'll see a clear difference. What was used to suspend her?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use.
That's... Well, I mean, if it isn't broke, why fix it?
And you know what else?
What?
Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Big Mac.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
A pattern?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Let's see. There was a pattern surrounding the Genocide Jack victims and Chihiro didn't fit it? If you look at the names of every victim, what you'll notice is... I think I figured it out. I know why she couldn't have killed Chihiro. Because Chihiro was a girl.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Bingo! Bullseye! Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
Ken Harada, 32. Tetsuhiro Honda, 17. Shoji Gaku, 23. Kano Issei, 14. Takashi Yoshida, 30. Komatsu Nataro, Takafumi Gono, Uchida Naoya, Takashi Masamue, Yuto Umejiya. There was no end to it.
They were all... guys?
Also, I apologize if I butchered any of those names.
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it.
Oh my god.
But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid.
Stop it with the comparisons!
I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line! absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly cur?
You had that coming, you arrogant bastard.
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
I was thinking that too. That did seem like too obvious a clue.
That does make some amount of sense. Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Any scissors?
She uses her own tools there, Hifumi.
I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
What? What? That's terrifying.
She's fully equipped!
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong! You can't, can you, gutter dogs, all of you! Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot! The rope's totally out of the question anyway!
What? Can kill a bunch of people just by using scissors. Can't tie a knot. I'm sensing a SpongeBob theme here.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
Well, stranger things have happened.
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah. That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Actually, hold on. There is one person. One person who could have copied the Genocide Jack cases, because he read the file. And he's an arrogant son of a bitch.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you've already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Nothing to say?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
What's it gonna be, heir apparent?
Then the reason we pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
You still have the hots for him after he tried to frame you? Okay.
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me. Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
I say it was right when you asked Makoto to accompany you.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
And the locker rooms. They're suspicious. Very suspicious indeed, wouldn't you agree? Suspicious? It seems nobody searched the locker rooms. Let's start with the girls' locker room.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
He also didn't let me into the boys' locker room either, so...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
But how did you know it was Chihiro?
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
Okay. There was a clear contradiction in what Byakuya just said. I need to make it clear to everyone. A new element has been added to non-stop debates. Would I like to hear more? Yes. Next, we're going to add something called a truth flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, then you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have an answer to a lie or contradiction in your go to truth bullets, it might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. When's the best time to flashback? Well, you'll just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I will say that if you don't use a flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck and have fun. Alright, let's do this. Monokuma file number 2.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
you wish you'd taken me with you.
God damn it, Hifumi. Hearing Byakuya's comment about Chihiro being a girl, I realize there's a clear contradiction there. Because it doesn't make sense how I could have known before we'd even found it. Okay, I need to make that contradiction clear. Alright, I think I know what's going on here.
Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the
Okay, there's my truth flashback.
weird.
If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural reaction!
The victim...
Hold it right there!
No, that's wrong. I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead, show us.
What's with Byakuya's attitude? It's like he doesn't even care. I've got him cornered, but he's acting like it has something to do with him.
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
The differences between this case and other Genocide Jack murders. The evidence that proves Byakuya is responsible hidden in there? What could it be? Alright, what do I got here? The library desk. That's right, the library desk lamp, okay.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before.
Objection!
No, it's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, You've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message.
Pretty much.
I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it.
Again, pretty much.
Is that about right?
He's doing it again. He's totally calm, totally unconcerned. As if he's not even involved. Wait, not even involved?
What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
Very useful comment there, Genocide Jill. Very useful.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath.
I don't think you did. I'm really thinking that you didn't do this. You were involved somehow, but you didn't actually commit the murder yourself.
What about all that bothers you?
Wait. What was that just now? Something's not right. Chihiro's body was definitely found in the girls' locker room, but does that mean... Can I really just accept what Byakuya said is the truth? No, I don't think so. There's definitely something off about what he said. Oh, tough call. Would it be the extension cord then? Could that extension cord really come from the library? You're the one who said it didn't in the first place. It's a very unpolished line of questioning. You're right. There really is no doubt the extension cord came from the library. I thought something was wrong, but I guess the extension cord wasn't it.
Shoot!
I took a hit there. Okay. Could it be the scene of the crime?
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
It is.
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown. She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene?
He's starting to sweat a little.
That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I'm pretty sure I do.
I believe I do.
Hey Byakuya, did I just take you off guard? When the story suddenly moved to the crime scene, Byakuya, who'd been so confident up till now... Maybe Byakuya never even realized that the actual scene of the crime could have been somewhere else.
Hey, don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
We're getting there, Taka. Jeez.
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Evidence that shows the murder took place somewhere else. There was something that was switched between the boys and the girls' locker rooms. Actually, I think there were two things that were switched. But I think I'll go with the locker room posters.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
No. The stain wasn't scrubbed away, the carpets were switched.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
That's a good question, actually.
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Good question. I think I know where this is going, folks, and, yeah, let's go.
To get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device. But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
Supernova?
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Is he right? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow? If you like this video, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/burningearthvfx, or consider supporting us at the links below. Thanks for watching.